again, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, with another video covering a subject that's important to me. It might be important to you or someone you know. This one's going to be about an opportunity that I've seen and I continue to see daily in our greater system of justice that we all depend on. Hopefully, you count on it to some extent or expect it if you need to. Kind of a big subject. This will be a short video to the point of a way that we do things that we being the United States, the citizens of the United States, educated people, people who count on services and justice as advertised and as we are taught in schools to understand it. There's a pretty big opportunity. I try to be positive about these things. Opportunity is the right word for a lot of reasons, which means there's a problem and there's also a chance to fix it for the better. So that's how I like to look at things. Anyway, the opportunity is that we delegate many of our judgments. We try to automate our judgments in the court system to precedent. Okay, pause. Precedent. What is that? It's something that has happened or given reason for a current policy or rule, a current law or regulation, license requirement, that sort of thing. Precedent is important. I have never advocated to ignore precedent, but speaking of opportunities, all precedents, such that would result in a rule or the formation of a new law, are also opportunities to not do that. And why would you not do that? Well, to preserve liberty. Okay, so it's going to be a very focused video, and I'm not trying to talk about the greater scope of legal justice or law and order, but one specific attribute of our system, the United States legal justice system, and that is when you delegate rules and regulations to precedent, they become symbolic. Hear me out. This might sound difficult for a second, but when you have a symbol like a letter or a paragraph or a whole book, can be symbolic. Like, for example, a book of rules of laws. We have these. They're called penal codes. We have dozens, if not hundreds, of books of penal codes and human behavior codes that we invoke as needed. And the opportunity here is to understand, first and foremost, we start with understanding. Understand the trade-off. Now, it's convenient to make it consistent between people, between alleged victims, the accused, suspects, or whatever you want to call perpetrators of crimes. We try to make it consistent as a gesture towards fairness. Well, it doesn't really end up being fair. It ends up being equally unfair to everybody. And the vast majority of people don't really read beyond that. They say, well, it's equal, so it must be fair. Well, if it's unfairly enabling half the people and unfairly limiting the other half, that's not fairness at all. That's something else. But anyway, again, this isn't about that. This is about the big opportunity of understanding that when a law becomes symbolic, the final ultimate deal breaker of codifying this thing, writing it down, making it symbolic, is that by definition and by necessity at that point, you have decided to ignore special cases. You have made circumstances irrelevant. The individual details, that is, the things that due process, if you've heard of that, are all about, become, by definition, irrelevant when you replace that due process with a precedent-based rule. Okay? It's not difficult to understand when you wrap your head around it. So if there's a symbol that fits your action or decision or behavior, we call that a crime. Whether you were helping somebody, whether there was harm, regardless of your excuses or your circumstances, of what made you do it, your motives, your the effect that it may have had, for better or worse. We say, if that symbol fits what you did, we don't care about anything else. We don't care about anything, literally nothing, by definition. And, in practice we do. Of course we do. In practice we have to, or else we can't even say with a straight face that it's any kind of justice, right? But if we're looking at the pure form on paper of what we claim to use, of what we're telling people, telling children in school that we're using, it doesn't care about your excuses or your circumstances. It doesn't care about why or how you did it, whatever it is. Just that we can fit the symbol to your action. And that's the opposite of justice. Okay, that's the whole point here is the only real justice is when circumstances are somehow relevant, officially. Okay? It's a subject of passion. If I'm appearing passionate about this, it's because I am. A lot of people are getting hurt by this thing. And we start with honesty. The only way forward is to understand it and speak about it openly and truthfully. Okay? Reach out if you have questions. I love to talk about this stuff. I have more experience than I want on the subject, so I'm open to conversations. whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.